So I guess I need to ask you about some of the specific tracks, and I guess we'll start with the curveballs, because it's going to be interesting how people respond to these things. Obviously, you never know in advance. You know that many fans will like it.
Sure, here we are, 3 months ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I hope you get it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I strongly suspect that most people will get all of it, but there's always dissenting voices, especially now. You know, right. Mindless dissenting voices. But I guess obviously the track that's going to be the most controversial, if anything, is Bastards or Bastards or.
I like the way you say it. Much better. Bastards.
Yeah.
I need to say it like that. I can't even say it with an American accent anymore. I just need to say it with an English accent, a proper English accent. Bastards.
Yeah, it's got more meaning.
It's way heavier that way.
I mean, that was the song that you did acoustically and put online, shortly after.
On YouTube?
On YouTube, yeah, shortly after Trump was elected. So, I mean, can you explain how that, I guess the genesis of that song, but also how that ended up on the album? Because a lot of people might think, well, it's a great song, but it's not necessarily a Machine Head song, and yet it does work on the album.
Well, like you said, I threw it up on YouTube, and that was back in November, so we had just started writing. We started in September, and I think, at that point I had I put it up, it was done, and that was it. Just okay, go back to writing the record. And as the album evolved, I kept finding these little lyrical connections in there. Some of those stand your ground lyrics popped up in Hope Begets Hope. They popped up in Catharsis. They came up in Eulogy. They came up in, and they just started weaving their way through the album. And, at some point it was like, maybe a band version of this would be cool. Because I had always heard that 6-finger tap, it's like the finger tap thing at the beginning. And I thought it would be cool to tune it down to F, because F is heavy and sounds cool.
Yeah.
And then, we tried it, and for me, like when I started putting it together, and lyrically it didn't really change, vocally it didn't really change, like there was nothing about that, as musically was the biggest change. And when I brought in my buddy to do the Hammond organ, when the Hammond organ came in, I was like, I got freaking goosebumps. I was like, holy shit, this is something really special. This is something else right here. And I know it's weird, and I know it's very eclectic compared to what we've done, but this is a great song. And we gotta, great songs are so far and few between. You have to share them. Yeah.
And it's, you said to me before, it's a folk song.
Yeah.
And I mean, nobody needs to really work out, the motivation behind a song like that, because the sentiment is, you're very direct. I mean, this whole album, actually, you're very direct. There's very, very little in the way of metaphor, which is what you would have done mainly in the past. You would have dealt with metaphors. But,
for sure.
But that song is, clearly it's kind of, it's a rant against the way things are at the moment, and particularly in America, I guess. It's just very close to home for you. And do you have any nervousness about releasing a song like that? I mean, obviously it has a positive message, but these are difficult times. When people do speak out about politics or about, humanity or whatever, everyone's a target straight away.
It's a complicated time, and there was more than a few times when we asked ourselves, do we need to say this? Does this need to come out? Does Machine Head need to do this? Is this Machine Head? And, I think when it was just kind of in its own little world there and in its own little bubble, that it was strange. But, in the context of the record and in the context of the story of the record and its connection to all of the other songs, it made sense. And so we rolled with it. And, I don't know what to expect. I can't. For me, like, it's very much just, I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I consider myself an artist, and I think when you express yourself, you just got to be pure and undiluted, and realize that as an artist, your job is basically putting your art out to the world for everyone to judge, for everyone to criticize, for everyone to love, whatever the case is, and just not be too attached to either of it. you know, you just got to do it because this is what you got to do. You're not doing it for the praise. You're not doing it for the hate. You're doing it because this is just what you do. And so that's my attitude. And, I'm excited for the record. I'm excited for the record, man. I'm excited for people to hear it.
Yeah.
You know, when I started this press tour, I mean, I'll be straight. I kind of thought that I was going to need to be a little more on the offense with that song. Like, the reason we did this is, it's crazy because unanimously, every single interview I've done has been song of the album. Like, what, I can't even believe you guys did it and are saying the stuff that you're saying, and good for you. And like, it really surprised me. I'm blown away by it. You know, I've had like 6 dudes tell me it made them cry.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. which is fucking amazing. Yeah. You know, it's amazing to me. And you never know what you're gonna get. And sometimes you just gotta trust your gut and roll with it, man.
Generation, the PC and the brave, the protesters that slink along the streets of misery, and so